What is the value of the expression 5 plus 10 divided by open parentheses 9 minus 4 close parentheses then multiplied by 2 squared? Which option do you think is the correct answer to this question? At first glance, this question looks very easy, but it confuses almost everyone. Let's go step by step and solve it together. Many people, when solving this question, first go to the expression 5 plus 10. And instead of this expression, they write 15 divided by 9 minus 4 inside the parentheses, then multiply by 2 squared. And the next step, they go to the expression inside the parentheses and simplify this expression to 15 divided by 5 multiplied by 2 to the power of 2. Then, they perform the division between 15 and 5. And instead of this expression, they write 3 multiplied by 2 squared. And the final step, they go to the expression 2 to the power of 2 and simplify this expression to 3 multiplied by 4, which ultimately gives them the answer 12. Then, without any hesitation, they quickly say that option B is the correct answer to this question. But I have to say, we're tricked, and it's not the correct answer to this question. Also, some other people, when solving this question, first go to the expression inside the parentheses, and instead of this expression, they write 5 plus 10 divided by 5 multiplied by 2 squared. And the next step, they go to the exponent, 2 to the power of 2, and simplify this expression to 5 plus 10 divided by 5 multiplied by 4. Then, they perform the multiplication between 5 and 4 because they believe multiplication has higher priority than division. So, instead of this expression, they write 5 plus 10 divided by 20. And the next step, they perform the division between 10 and 20 because they say division has priority over addition. So, they simplify this expression to 5 plus 0.5, which ultimately gives them the answer 5.5. And immediately, they conclude that option A is the correct answer to this question. However, that's definitely wrong. Alright, now let me walk you through step by step how to solve this expression correctly. As you can see in the image, in this expression, first we have an addition sign, then a division sign, followed by parentheses, then a multiplication, and finally exponent. To solve this question, we must follow the PEMDAS rule. In this rule, P stands for parentheses, E stands for exponent, M stands for multiplication, D stands for division, A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. We must follow the order of operations step by step from top to bottom. So, we start with the parentheses first, because parentheses have the highest priority compared to the other operations. Okay, instead of this expression, we can write 5 plus 10 divided by 5 multiplied by 2 squared. And the next step, we go to the exponent, because exponent after parentheses has higher priority than the other operations. So, this expression simplified to 5 plus 10 divided by 5 multiplied by 4. Alright, now it's time to perform the division and multiplication, because multiplication and division have higher priority than addition. However, we must pay close attention that multiplication and division have equal precedence. In this case, the best thing to do is to start from the rest of the expression performing division and multiplication as we go. So, we start with the division between 10 and 5, and instead of this expression, we can write 5 plus 2 multiplied by 4. And the final step, we go to the multiplication between 2 and 4, because multiplication has higher priority than addition. So, this expression simplified to 5 plus 8, which ultimately gives us the answer 13. Therefore, option C is the correct answer to this question. Alright, now let's solve another tricky math question together. What is the value of the expression 120 divided by 6 multiplied by open parentheses 9 plus 1 close parentheses and multiplied by 2? Which option do you think is the correct answer to this question? Let's dive in and break it down step by step together. Many people, when trying to solve this question, first go for the expression inside the parentheses because they believe parentheses have a higher priority than the other operations. So, they simplify this expression to 120 divided by 6 multiplied by 10 and again multiplied by 2. And the next step, they go for the two multiplication signs that I've highlighted in yellow because they think multiplication has a higher priority than division. So, instead of this expression, they write 120 divided by 120, which finally gives them the answer 1. And immediately, they conclude that the correct answer to this question is option A. However, this answer is absolutely wrong. Alright, now let me show you how to solve this expression properly. To solve this question, we must follow a rule that is called PEMDAS. We have to follow the order of operations I told you, step by step from top to bottom. Okay, in the first step, we go for the expression inside the parentheses because it has the highest priority among all the operations. So, instead of this expression, we can write 120 divided by 6 multiplied by 10 and again multiplied by 2. Alright, as you can see on the screen, in this expression, we have one division sign followed by two multiplication signs. We must pay close attention that multiplication and division are at the same level of precedence. In this situation, the best thing to do is to start from the left and perform these two operations in order. So, first we perform the division between 120 and 6, which simplified this expression to 20 multiplied by 10 and again multiplied by 2. And the final step, we perform the multiplication between 20 and 10. And instead of this expression, we can write 200 multiplied by 2, which finally gives us the answer 400. That's great. Option D is the correct answer to this question. What is the value of the expression 60 divided by 20 multiplied by open parentheses 9 minus 6 close parentheses? Which option do you think is the correct answer to this question? Let's take a closer look and solve it together. And the first step, most people start by solving the expression inside the parentheses and replace it with 60 divided by 20 multiplied by 3. And the next step, they go for the multiplication between 20 and 3 because they think multiplication has priority over division. So, this expression simplifies to 60 divided by 60, which finally gives them the answer 1. And immediately, they conclude that option A is the correct answer to this question. However, it's not the correct answer to this question. As you can see on the screen, in this expression, first we have a division sign, followed by a multiplication sign, and finally parentheses. To solve this question, we need to use the PEMDAS rule. PEMDAS shows us the priority of the order of operations. So, we start with the parentheses first, because it has the highest priority than the other operations. Okay, this expression simplified to 60 divided by 20 multiplied by 3. Now, it's time to simplify this expression. It's very important to note that in the PEMDAS rule, multiplication and division have exactly the same level of priority. In this case, all we need to do is to start from the left side of the expression and move step by step toward the right. So, we start with the division between 60 and 20, and this expression simplified to 3 multiplied by 3. And finally, the value of this expression will be 9. Therefore, option C is the correct answer to this question.